mislead your committee. Should you willfully mislead your committee, the same capital may be used against yourselves. We take comfortably so, that you may not opt to mislead us. And so it is with pleasure that we ask you to freely interact with us when called upon to do so. Having said that, CS, may I now ask you to introduce yourself and equally allow your team members to introduce themselves. CS.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, members. My name is Gibson Mwemba, the Council Secretary for NYIMBA. Allow me now to call upon my team to introduce themselves. I will begin with this team this side.
The team on the left of CS and on my right.
Thank you, Chair. Good evening. My name is Kefas Mkoko, Director of Finance, NYIMBA Town Council. Thank you.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, members of the committee. My name is Major Mwale. I'm the internal auditor. Thank you.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, members. My name is Kamdalila Isaac Piri, Chief Accountant.
Chair, good evening, and good evening, members. I'm Masongo Spiritis, Data Planning for NYIMBA. Thank you.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, honorable members of Parliament. My name is Joseph Yatema, Director of Engineering, NYIMBA Town Council. Thank you.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, members of the committee. My name is Yvonne Ndlovu. I'm the Senior Procurement Officer, NYIMBA Town Council.
Thank you so much. We will now move to our permanent witnesses, starting with the Ministry of Finance.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, honorable members of Parliament. Good evening, Council Secretary and team. My name is Siam Denda from Ministry of Finance, Accountant General.
Thank you. Local Government Service Commission.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, members of the committee. Good evening, CS and the team. My name is Mulumbenj Kasanka from Local Government Service Commission under the Department of Human Resource Management Services. Thank you.
Thank you. The Ministry of Local Government.
Thank you, Chairperson and the honorable members of your committee. I don't know, Chair, if it is already evening. It's 11 minutes past 17. But maybe by sequence, I'll say good evening. NYIMBA Town Council, you are welcome. And I'm Kazinga Kennedy from Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Thank you.
Thank you. The Office of the Auditor General.
Thank you, Chair. Good evening, Chair, and the honorable members of the committee. CS and your team, you are welcome. I'm Collins Isamundelu from Chipata Audit Office. With me, I'm accompanied by a colleague who introduced himself.
Yes, the colleague. May you please introduce yourself?
Thank you, Chair. My name is Simon Munyama from the Planning and Research Department, Office of the Auditor General.
Thank you so much. Our Secretariat.
Thank you, Chair. Good evening. Good evening, honorable members, and good evening, NYIMBA Town Council. You're welcome. My name is Andrew Siwale, and I'm from the Office of the Clerk of the National Assembly.
Chairperson, thank you so much to you and other honorable members, CS and your team. You're welcome. I am Chirimboy Elijah from the Office of the Clerk of National Assembly. Thank you so much, Chairperson.
Thank you so much. We have our colleagues, honorable members of the committee who are joining us virtually. Honorable Singombe, are you there? Honorable Nyambose. Okay, we may be having some technical challenges. Honorable Member of Parliament for Mangango.
Honorable, I'm around.
Honorable Kamondo, please go ahead. The honorable member from Mfumbwe.
Good evening, honorable Chairperson, and good evening, honorable colleagues, our permanent witnesses, as well as our secretariat. And the witness, good evening, that is NYIMBA, I'm sure. My name is Elliot Kamondo. I'm a member of Parliament from Mfumbwe and a member of this committee.
Thank you. Honorable Mwene.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, you can hear my brother from Mufumbwe has been able to respond very quickly to everyone here. Good evening to you, Chair, our Secretariat, our permanent witnesses. Good evening, NYIMBA Town Council. Most welcome to National Assembly before your committee. Our viewers and the listeners out there, good evening to you too. I'm Mwene Luhamba, Member of Parliament for Mangango constituency in Western Province, Kauma District Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member of Parliament for Kaumbwe.
Thank you, Chair. Good evening, NYIMBA Town Council, and welcome to your Committee on Local Government Accounts. I'm Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza, Member of Parliament for Kaumbwe, your neighbor. You're most welcome.
Thank you so much. CS, my name is Christopher Shakafuswa. I represent the good people of Mandevu constituency of Lusaka district, and you are in Mandevu constituency, so you are welcome. I remember you welcomed us to NYIMBA. Last time the committee was undertaking its local tours. You are now in Mandevu, and you are welcome. Feel free. I'm the vice chairperson of the committee and privileged to chair the session today. As you may be aware, we have the national delimitation exercise, and chair is actually attending those meetings. Having said that, I now wish to invite you, CS, to present your memorandum.
Thank you so much, Chair. I'm beginning with Part B, which is cross-cutting audit issues, budget and funding. Chair, I go to management response, cause for the query. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to state that the variance of 12,582,316 was due to partial funding of the CDF activities for the year 2024. Action taken, Chair. Management wish to state that the Council has since received correspondences on the funding of the variance. There's a letter from the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development on Appendix 1, Chair. Remedial measures, management wish to state that it will continue to engage the Ministry on the provision of guidance on retained funds. Appendix 1.1, retained funds, Chair. Cause of the query. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to state that the retained funds of 2,810,000 was used to procure 1 ambulance and 4 motorbikes for the chiefs. Action taken, Chair. Management wish to state that the Council has since received the ambulance and the 4 motorbikes. The details of the fundings, the procurement of ambulance was pegged at 2.3, and the procurement of motorbikes was pegged at 474, making the total of 2,810,000. The major measures, Chair, management wish to state that it will continue to engage the Ministry on provision of guidance towards retained funds. Appendix 2.1, Chair, total unspent funds, community project. Cause of query. Management acknowledge the auditor's findings on the over expenditure on community projects amounting to 1,116 and 140. Action taken, Chair. Management wish to state that the Council varied funds from secondary and skills development bursaries to community projects. The variation letter and payment vouchers are attached on Appendix 3, Chair. Remedial measures, management will ensure that public funds are prudently utilized in accordance with the CDF guidelines. Appendix 2.2, Chair, total unspent funds under empowerment grants I jump to the cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to state that the unspent funds was due to inactive accounts of the beneficiaries. Action taken, Chair. Management wish to state that the Council has since paid all the grant beneficiaries as outlined in the table below. Appendix 4, we have bank statements and payment vouchers. So, remedial measures, management wish to state that it will ensure that grant beneficiaries are paid promptly. Appendix 2.3 is unspent funds under secondary boarding and skills development. Cause of query, Chair. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to state that the unspent funds of 2,864,377 was due to low turnout of applicants under this component. Action taken, management wish to state that the Council has since varied the funds towards community projects and the procurement of desks. And Appendix 5 has the variation letter and payment vouchers. The major measures, Chair, management wish to state that it will continue to sensitize the community over the availability of CDF funds and sponsor students and pupils. Appendix 2.4, total unspent funds under loans, Chair. I'll jump to cause of query. Management acknowledge the auditor's findings on the unspent funds of 533,052. Action taken, Chair. Management wish to state that the funds have since been spent, and we have attached Appendix 6, payment vouchers and loan payment schedules. The major measures, Chair, the Council will endeavor to pay out loans in accordance with the CDF guidelines, and management wish to state that it will continue to spend funds in accordance with the CDF guidelines and Public Finance Management Act number 1 of 2018. Appendix 2.5, Chair, is total unspent funds, administrative costs. Cause of query, Chair, management acknowledges the auditor's findings on the over-expenditure of funds amounting to 347,618. Action taken, Chair. Management wish to state that the CDF allocation for administrative cost component for 2024 was 1.531,782, and the Council spent 1,531,782, giving a new unspent variance as shown in the table below. The major measure, management wish to state that it will continue to spend funds in accordance with CDF guidelines and Public Finance Management Act number 1 of 2018, Chair. Chair, Appendix 3 is community projects, and management acknowledges the auditor's findings on the outstanding projects, and we wish to state that cause of query, action taken, and the major measures are shown in the table below. We have construction of Simaba classroom block. Cause of query, it was the underperformance of the contractor, but action taken, the project has since been completed. The major measure, management shall enhance project monitoring and ensure that all CDF community projects are implemented within the period. Construction of Kazolwe Rural Health Center, Chair, also it was the underperformance of the underperformance by the contractor, but we're happy to report that the project has since been completed, and the major measures are the same. We have construction of a maternity annex at Hofmeyr. Chair, is the same cause of query, underperformance by the contractor, but we're happy to report that the project has since been completed. The same goes to Kalongomape Primary School, staff house. The cause of query, it was underperformance of the contractor, but we're happy to report that the project has since been completed. Outstanding projects, Chair, is provision of electricity towards the electrification of identified public institutions in peri-urban and rural areas. Cause of query, Chair, outstanding project is due to an implemented project which is provision of electricity under RIA. Action taken, the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development has since issued a circular number MLOG-RD/19/7/4 providing guidance on the utilization of funds. Management will ensure, will enhance project monitoring and ensure that all CDF community projects are implemented according to stipulated guidelines. Chair, the appendices are attached under Appendix 8. The next query, Chair, comes at Appendix 3.1, analysis of performance of desks. Chair, the cause of query, management acknowledges the auditor's observations and wish to state that the undelivered desks were due to underperformance by the contractor despite several engagements. Action taken, Chair, management wish to state that the contractor has since delivered the desks finally. And the major measures, management shall enhance project monitoring and ensure that all CDF community projects are completed according to stipulated timelines. Appendix 9, Chair, has the completion certificate, warning letters, letters of extension, and the good receives notes. Appendix 6, Chair, is Youth and Women Empowerment Grant Performance Analysis. The cause of query, management acknowledge the auditor's findings and wish to state that 40% approval rate of grant was due to inadequate funds from the grant allocation. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to state that under expenditure of 213,981 was due to inactive bank accounts for the beneficiaries. Action taken, Chair, is that management wish to state that 40% approval rate was based on the total applications received before the final approval. The allocated funds could only manage to pay 83 approved beneficiaries, making it 100% against the 83 beneficiaries paid. Management wish to state that all the beneficiaries have since been paid. We have approval letters and payment vouchers on Appendix 10. The medical measures, Chair, management will ensure that all the approved beneficiaries are paid in accordance with the CDF guidelines. Appendix 6.1, Chair, unaccounted for empowerment grants. Cause of query, Chair, management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to state that the availability of financial records, sorry, Chair, there we had Ms. Samuels, was due to inability of the 4 groups to prepare financial records. Action taken, Chair, management wish to state that the council conducted financial trainings, sensitizations, and monitoring to ensure that all grant beneficiaries keep the business records. Remedial measures, the council shall always endeavor to sensitize and train beneficiaries on financial management. Appendix 11, financial training reports and monitoring reports. Cause of query, Chair, management acknowledges the auditor's findings that 5 groups and cooperatives were non-operational as the beneficiaries diverted the money as shown in the table below. Action taken, management wish to state that the council reconducted financial trainings and sensitization meetings to the beneficiaries. Management wish to state that council had written warning letters to the groups and cooperatives to revert to their original applied businesses. Under Appendix 12, we find the financial training report and warning letters. Remedial measures, Chair, management shall ensure that groups and cooperatives adhere to the approved applied businesses. Appendix 6.4, Chair, is an authorized change of project under grant projects. The cause of query, management acknowledges the audit findings that 6 groups and cooperatives had diverted from the agreed projects without securing approval of the local authority as shown in the table below. Action taken, Chair, management wish to state that council has conducted financial training, sensitizations and monitoring to ensure that beneficiaries follow the set out CDF guidelines, and has advised the beneficiaries to write for authority to divert the agreed projects. The medical measures, Chair, management shall endeavor to ensure that grant beneficiaries get approval before changing approved projects. Appendix 6.5, Chair, is misappropriation of grants. Cause of query, management acknowledges the auditor's findings that one cooperative had project funds shared among group members as shown in the table below. Action taken, Chair, is that management wish to state that the council has conducted financial trainings, sensitizations and monitoring to ensure that beneficiaries follow the set out CDF guidelines. Management wish to state that the council advised and cautioned the group to return the shared money and implement the approved project. The major measures, Chair, the council shall endeavor to ensure that the grant beneficiaries do not share funds but use the funds for the intended approved projects. Chair, Appendix 7 is misapplication of loan funds. Cause of query, management acknowledges the auditor's observation relating to misapplication of loan funds amounting to 114,500 by 2 beneficiaries who diverted the funds from the approved projects to alternative activities without obtaining prior written approval from the Constituency Development Fund Committee as shown in the table below. Action taken, Chair, management wish to state that council had written warning letters and advised the beneficiaries to regularize their projects in line with the approved proposals. The medical measure, the council shall endeavor to monitor loan beneficiaries so that they desist from diverting or deviating from the approved projects. Appendix 7.1, Chair, is failure to implement projects under loans. Cause of query, management acknowledges the auditor's findings that the project for one loan beneficiary had not been operationalized as shown in the table below. Action taken, Chair, management wished to state that the council had written warning letters to the beneficiary to start the business and reminded him of the consequences if he is not following the CDF guidelines. Remedial measure, Chair, management shall endeavor to ensure that loan beneficiaries implement the projects within the stipulated time frame. 7.2, Chair, is a failure to recover loans. The cause of query, management acknowledges the auditor's findings of the unrecovered loan amounts of 1,271,736 from the loan beneficiaries as shown in the table below, Chair. Action taken. Management wish to state that the council wrote demand letters. Management wish also to state that the council has saved loan defaulters with court summons. Management has since recovered 654,980, leaving the balance of 1,044,271.92 to be recovered from the amounts payable of 1.6 million. The Major Chair, the Council shall endeavor to recover all the unrecovered money under the loan component so that other beneficiaries also can enjoy the loans. Appendix 8, Chair, is bursaries performance analysis. And the cause of query, Chair, management acknowledges the audit findings on the number of students sponsored and students that have graduated. Action taken, Chair. Management wish to state that the Council has been monitoring schools to ascertain the number of sponsored students who have graduated, and remedial measures. Management shall endeavor to monitor sponsored students and ensure that they graduate. This marks the end of my report, Chair. I thank you.
Thank you so much, CS. I wish to call upon the honorable members to ask points of clarifications, if any. However, I must state that NYIMBA Town Council is one of the councils that has actually performed extremely well. You do not have specific audit findings, except the few cross-cutting audit queries, which I think you have resolved. Do we have any? Yes, Dr. Manza? Honorable Dr. Manza?
Just clarification on page 5.
Page 5.
The total unspent funds on secondary boarding and skills development. By the end of the fiscal year, NYIMBA Town Council had 2,864,377 kwacha as unspent under this vote. And you state that you applied for a variation for the council to vary the funds towards community project and the procurement of desks, which authority was given on Appendix 3. So the first question is, you had 2,864,377, but you applied for 2,833,000, which you can actually confirm on. You applied for 2,833,000 as per the conveyance of notification from the PLG's office. Why did you apply for the whole funding that was in the account? Why did you leave the 31,000 kwacha?
Yes, yes.
All right, thank you so much. May I seek for an assistance from the Director Planning?
Director Planning?
Chair, thank you so much. We had to vary based on the recommendation that we had from engineering on the projects to be constructed, as well as the number of desks to be procured.
And why did you leave the balance? That is the question.
Okay. So the balance, may I maybe seek the indulgence of Director Engineering through the Council Secretary so that probably he may help out.
Yes, Director Engineering.
Thank you, Chair. The small balance, Chair, was left because we had to pay for the secondary school, Chair, bursaries. That's why we left a small amount so that it spill over to the next year for continuation, Chair, I submit.
Honorable Dr. Mwanza.
If you go to page 3, on total unspent funds under community projects, you had a balance of 17 million in 2023 brought forward, then 2024 5 million, 5.6, then 23.5 million was the total available funds, and you spent 24 million, which was 1,116,140 above the budget for under community projects. And your explanation on the over expenditure by 1,116,140, the explanation is on page 4, where you're saying management wishes to state that the council varied funds from secondary and skills development bursaries to community projects. And you've referred us to Appendix 3 to check how the variation, the approval process, and even the amount that was varied is shown in Appendix 3. Your explanation as to how you spent the 1,116,000 is that this money is coming from the skills and the bursaries and skills. So the question is, your expenditure you queried over 1,116,000, which you just rightly put it to say you say you left 31,000 because is it that the answer is just convenient to represent the situation, or that was a real situation? Because the Director Engineering says that we had to vary the funds from bursaries based on the demand from the Works Department. And the Works Department, you had a budget overrun of 1,116,000. But later, on Appendix 3, they are showing us 3 projects. Construction of 1x3 classroom block at Mtumbatwa Community School, 1,150,000. Construction of 1x3 classroom block at Simalama Primary School, and also construction of 8 boreholes, which the total budget was 2,833,377. This is above the community project vote. Under community projects on page 3, you had 1,116,000. So the question is, why did you applied for more funds than they committed? Because you committed up to 1,116,140 as evidenced on page 3. Why did you undercommit when the funds from skills and bursaries are 2.83 million?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Maybe let me allow Director Engineering to just conclude his response.
Yes, Director Engineering.
Thank you, Chair. So if I may take the Honorable MP to to the earlier question on page, is it 5? So on page 5, the appendix is referred to on appendix 5. That's the variation that we are referring to on page 5. And on page 3, is the one that referring to appendix 3. Now, the over expenditure of 1 million came from 2023 projects, which we've indicated that it was used to construct one of these 3 projects, Chair. I submit.
Yes, Honorable Mwene.
Thank you very much. On the same, I think, secondary boarding skills. You can see the balance from balance brought forward from 2023 is 2.8,033,000, and by the end of 2024, we still had a 2.8,064,000. Are you telling your committee that you could not spend this money on secondary boarding because there are no children going to school, as well as the skills that there are no youths? If not, why didn't you manage to spend this money on the intended purpose? Secondly, Chair, for them not to have an uptake of these learners, there is a very high probability that there was no sensitization, Chair. If at all you did any sensitizations to the communities, do you have any evidence to that? Because this money is meant for the boys and girls that are going to school and the youths that are supposed to go for skills development, which is the future of the country. You opted to take it to, you opted to vary it to other projects, leaving human resource development. So may you just give a light answer to your committee to those particular questions. Also, what is the population of NYIMBA that you can fail to have youths going for skills development as well as children going to school? I submit, Chair.
Thank you so much. CS, you may respond.
Okay, before I call the Director Planning, Chair, these funds normally are not available in our accounts. We normally request, of course, on the book, yes, we normally request these funds from the ministry as when we retire. So we find that some of these funds may have hit our account very late, such that before we even implement, the year has closed. But to augment, I invite Director Planning to.
Thank you, Chair. Just to elaborate more, we realize to say the students are sent to school usually from the first month or second month of the year. And at the point when we receive these funds, the year was coming to a close, and therefore there was no need for us to go and sponsor them because they had already gone. So the only way to utilize these available funds was to vary the money so that we can give the money back to the community through the construction of the schools as well as the procurement of desks. I thank you, Chair.
You did not vary the total amount of 2.864,000 kwacha. The advice is when you have a balance hanging, do the variation of the whole total. I think that is what brought the question from Honorable Dr. Mwanza. Not varying the 31,000 is negligible from the 2.8. I don't want us to water down the progress made by NYIMBA. You have some challenges in the implementation of grants where I think it's more to do with sensitization and educating the people on how to manage the grants, unauthorized change of the projects that they had submitted. I think this again is more to do with sensitization. Failure to implement grants by the 5 groups that had gotten the grants without records. Again, it's another area of lack of meeting between you, the council, and the grant beneficiaries. We hope such challenges will not come forth, because I think this is the 3rd year that we've successfully implemented this program. And so we expect that these challenges going forward will be reduced. The committee directs NYIMBA Council to ensure strict compliance with CDF guidelines, seek proper approvals for fund variations, strengthen financial controls and internal oversight mechanisms, enforce recovery of misapplied and unpaid loans, enhance monitoring of grant beneficiaries, improve procurement of follow-up systems, and ensure that the officers responsible for financial irregularities are held accountable. The committee underscores that financial discipline and accountability are non-negotiable in the management of public funds. NYIMBA Town Council must take urgent corrective measures to restore confidence in the management of CDF resources and ensure that such irregularities do not reoccur. Yeah, so we'll end our meeting with you, NYIMBA, because we recognize the efforts that you have actually put in the administration of CDF funds. I know sometimes we may take you on 1 or 2 issues you may be able to answer, because that is the nature of this committee. And so to acknowledge the work done, we will release you now. Your immunity is hereby revoked. Go well.
Thank you so much, Chair.
There you have it, the last witness for today, NYIMBA Town Council, that was led by the Council Secretary, Mr. Gibson Mwimba. They've just made their submissions to the Committee on Local Government Accounts on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, for the financial year ended 31st December 2024. This committee has today received submissions from Petauke Town Council, Vubui Town Council, and of course the last witness for today was NYIMBA Town Council. From me, Matimba Mkua, sign language interpreters Jason Manda and Chola Kauma, and of course on behalf of the entire production crew, keep watching Parliament Television.